Today we're going to learn how to set up the Underground Nexus as fast as possible. So first and foremost, what is the Underground Nexus? If you check out our website at cloudunderground.dev, the Underground Nexus is an asset management platform for DevSecOps engineering and automation. So basically setting up everything that you need to run your business so that you can access, manage, and automate those resources. So I will let you check out the website to get a better idea of what the Underground Nexus actually is, but let's go ahead and see just how you can set up the Underground Nexus, because it's not that hard and it's not too bad to set up. So first, we want to go over to where it says build free on GitHub. If we select this is going to take us immediately over to the open source GitHub page of the Underground Nexus, which is going to allow you to follow the two install steps. We will start by clicking on Install Step 1. By clicking on Install Step 1, this, just read what it says, so I will read this out loud. It says Install Step 1, open a command line in Windows or Terminal in Linux or OS 10. Basically, you want to open up a terminal and paste the appropriate install command for your computer's hardware platform. So if you are using a computer that has like an Intel processor or AMD processors, anything like that, chances are it is one of these top two AMD 64 systems. Alternatively, if we look at this item that says ARM64, if you're using an M1 Apple, Raspberry Pi, or anything like that, then you are using ARM64 for your install. So choose the right install based on your hardware. Once you choose the right install for your hardware, then you are going to choose, just to get started, if you've never used the Underground Nexus before, check out the development version of the Underground Nexus, and then we can simply copy that, which allows us to paste that into a terminal. You simply paste that into a terminal. Now, you've probably guessed that if this says Docker here, if you don't have Docker, then you do need to have Docker installed first. So the first step, if you, this is assuming that you have a host with Docker already set up and running. So once you have done that, then we're going to copy the next thing. So install step 1, let's go down to install step 2. Install step 2. This is going to allow us to activate our Underground Nexus with this command here. This command can now just be pasted in the same location as before. After the first command will complete. Once the first command is complete, then you may run this command next. So, taking things a little further here. So let's take a look at Docker. If you are using Docker Desktop, then it most likely looks like this, or pretty close to it. So if the Underground Nexus is up and running, one thing to be aware of is as long as it says that you can see your ports, you can click on Show All Ports here. This is going to allow you to access all of the resources seen, which the first place that I'm going to recommend that you head over to is this recommended link that I'm going to show you now that we can see that it's running, because we care that it's running. Otherwise, it's not going to work. If you click on these three dots over here, you can open the terminal of the Underground Nexus, which it has a terminal of its own. And if you are using a different version of Docker, there are other ways to access the terminal of the Underground Nexus. So back at the GitHub, if you are now able to go see that your Underground Nexus is running, you can select this here. Once you select this link here, this is going to take you over here to this web top. Amazing. So this actually takes about an hour to get to this point after you've activated the Underground Nexus. So if you're watching this and you're seeing this desktop on mine, and it looks like I just did this instantly like magic, it can take, depending on how fast your internet is, anywhere from 10 minutes to, if you have really slow internet, it could take a whole hour. So it's worth walking away to wait until you can come and access this, which from this desktop we can access Firefox. Open Firefox first. It's going to give you a little warning, but this is a closed virtual environment that you can delete, so you also don't have to worry about this being some environment. It's basically, this is a development web hosting space, so we can accept this risk because it's not on our own browser to begin with. But this is actually really important here. Please keep in mind that if you don't go here, and it can take a little bit of time here, you're not going to get a very good understanding of how to use the Underground Nexus, because this is where you find the actual manual for how to really get using the Underground Nexus itself. So once this loads, it's going to look like this, where you're going to have this Git BIOS control panel, which is going to give you all of the helpful links that you need. So if we take a look at the helpful links here, we can see that we have everything from learning how to hack satellites with the Underground Nexus, all the way to setting up remote desktop environments. And if you want to start setting up access for collaborators, then you want to use the Zero Trust Cockpit. So if you're trying to work with a team or you want to host more than one user, the Underground Nexus is a data center. And so since it is a data center, you can host other people in here to work with you. So you can have a whole team of people working with you, and you can easily configure everyone's access using Zero Trust Cockpits, where each user gets their own Zero Trust Cockpit workspace. Then the next thing to go to from here is to go take a look at Portainer, which is where I'm going to leave you, is to follow the recommendations on how to set up Portainer here. So let me just click on this. It shows that your Portainer instance is new and you can't log into it. This is the most important thing that I will leave you with, is how do we get into Portainer? It's not as hard as it might seem. So we're going to go back to this control panel because I told you that this was important. So we're going to learn why this is valuable. So let me scroll down further here, and we have these quick reference commands. In the quick reference commands, the first one here tells us how to access or reset our Portainer. We can copy that. We can go and open a terminal. And this now is going to give you the ability to log into your Underground Nexus. So by default it has a username. You can change that from admin to whatever you want. And once you log in here, whether you save this or not is up to you, and if you delete this instance, then that will get lost anyways, because if you delete your Underground Nexus and all of its data, then that's one thing from a privacy standpoint, is you can delete your data if you want to, including all of the browser data with it. Or you can back it all up and protect it forever if that's what you prefer to do, if this is a more permanent data center environment. If you are having weird issues with any containers, that's something that you can go check out the DevSecOps Dojo from Cloud Underground to learn how you can manage some of these. But otherwise, you'll see that containers that have been having trouble will automatically try to heal themselves depending on your environment. This one, it has limited resources, so that's why it's being a little odd. But then from here, all these pins are the other things that you'll want to pay attention to. So you can access Portainer here as well from these little pins at the top. Pi-hole is another one that you can learn how to go into Portainer To reset Pi-hole, you will have to go and grab this item here and take that over to Portainer. Find your Pi-hole container. And you're going to click on this Quick Actions option. And you're going to leave it as default and connect. And you can add a password to log into your Portainer. So I'm not worried about that right now. You can do that and log in and see what that looks like. There are other applications here that let you write beautiful code for whatever you're doing. This shows a number of tests. So this is an invalid key, but you can set up zero trust network. So this is a set of examples showing a number of ideas of, like, you can code. Great, you can code. And then we can see here that this is object storage that allows you to share data with all of your users. There's a secrets management resource, and there is an additional desktop that may be used for configuring things like Security Operations Center, dashboards, things of that nature. So if you are trying to set up something like a Security Operations Center, there is a tool called Grafana and Wazoo. You can build a Security Operations Center with these, and I will let you enjoy building your Underground Nexus. Now, you can go and build something glorious.